For day 5 notes, angle measures and segment lengths. It says a secant is a line that intersects a circle at 2 points. So we can see here that we have 2 secant lines going through this circle. Okay. It says to find the measure of angle 1, you have to add this arc and this arc and then divide by 2 to get angle 1. So we would say we would take half of the sum of the measure of arc AD and the measure of arc BC. For angle 2, you would be taking half of the sum of arc AB plus the arc CD. Okay, so to put that in motion or in practice, for example 1, we have to find the measure of of angle BEC. So this angle right here. And so to get this angle, I need to add its 2 arcs. So 45 plus 109, and I need to divide that by 2. So if I divide that by 2, let's see, we get 154. Divided by 2 is 77. In part B, it says that we need to find the measure of STR. So this angle here. So we would go ahead and add those 2 arcs and divide by 2. So that gives me 298 divided by 2, and that's 149 degrees. And then lastly, it says find the x value. So here it's a little more algebraic. So again, we're going to add the 2 arcs together. So 3x minus 5 plus 30. We divide the arcs by 2, and we equal the angle, which is 35. So what I would do is I would go ahead, simplify the top of this. And I know that I have to multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of my fraction, so that equals 70. And then if I subtract 25 from 70, we get 45. And if we divide it by 3, we get x is 15. Okay. For theorem 12-14, for this one, you take the big arc x here, and you subtract the small arc y, and then you divide it by 2. Okay. So, in part A, I would say 140 minus 66 divided by 2. And that gives me 74 divided by 2, which is 37 degrees. For part B, find the measure of arc MK. And so to set this up, you would normally say, okay, the big arc, 160, minus the small arc, which we don't know. We're going to call that y, divided by 2, equals the angle, and the angle is 56. So I would go ahead and multiply both sides by 2, and that would give me 112. If I subtract the 160, it's going to give me a negative answer. So I've got negative y equals negative 48 when I subtract, and if I divide by negative 1, I still get 48. So y equals 48. In letter C, it says find the measure of angle PQR. So in this one, just because of how the angle measure is, you have point P and point R. This entire arc is 313 degrees. So to find the small arc, I would do 360 minus 313, and that gives me 47. So this little arc is 47, but I still have to find that angle. And so I would do 313 minus 47 divided by 2, and that gives me 266 divided by 2, and that's 133 degrees.